A major milestone in the UK. Starting today, American visitors won't need to quarantine as long as they're fully vaccinated. NBC News foreign correspondent Matt Bradley joins us now from London's Heathrow Airport. So, Matt, I'm guessing you've already seen some emotional arrivals there today. What's the mood like right now? What are travelers telling you?
Yeah, guys, good morning. I mean, you guys remember that movie, Love Actually, the opening when they were in Heathrow Airport? They're talking about everybody greeting each other. You saw the movie, I think. It was like that. It really was, in real life. There was a lot of tears, a lot of emotions. We actually spoke with one young woman who's been living in the States. She's a British citizen. She's been there for 3 years, and she hadn't seen her mom in that time. And she was so relieved to be back. Here's what she told us.
It's so overwhelming. I've been really on edge for the last couple of days. I didn't know what it was going to be like coming in, and like I said, we haven't seen each other in 3 years, so that was really overwhelming. But it's a really good feeling, and I'm home, and that feels so good.
And, you know, that was just one of many. I mean, there were a lot of really emotional scenes today. A lot of people who already had booked their tickets and they had been planning on doing that 10-day quarantine. And now they were just so relieved to not have to be stuck in a hotel. Some people who were on business trips who had been budgeting in that 10-day quarantine because they had to come to Britain. Now they say they're going to spend that time sightseeing. Guys?
Yeah, love the Love Actually reference there. It is important to note some requirements still exist for fully vaccinated visitors, including testing before and after arrival. But the rollback rules are still good news, and not just for travelers, but I understand for airlines. Tell us about that.
Yeah, I mean, airlines everywhere have been suffering, but especially here, they've been suffering also from a lot of, they've been criticizing the government. The airlines felt, and a lot of the travel industry felt, really singled out in terms of the restrictions that they had to endure throughout the pandemic. And as things have gotten better in the last couple of months, the travel industry here has been very, very vocal in their criticism of some of these lingering government restrictions. Now it seems the Delta variant, that really troubling new variant, that has silenced some of those critics. But it seems as though this was a big, big boom for the travel industry and for Heathrow itself, which is right behind me. We spoke with the CEO of Heathrow, and here's what he had to say.
Getting the US in particular reconnected to the UK is a massive step ahead for us. We're still not back to normal yet. We still have about 35 flights from the US a day. Normally we have about 120.
So, you know, they still got a long way to go. They're still going to be ramping up, scaling up all of those flights. But, guys, it's not just the U.S. It's also the European Union, all with the exception of France. France, if you're coming from there, you still have to quarantine for a couple of days. That has enraged the French and caused something like a diplomatic rift between the U.K. and France. Guys?
And, Matt, you mentioned the Delta variant. We know that things are getting worse here in the U.S. Where does the U.K. stand when it comes to new cases of COVID?
It's really interesting that you mentioned the Delta variant in the U.S. because here in the UK, scientists have been predicting that the Delta variant would tear through Britain, even as the government decided that they were going to be relaxing a lot of these restrictions in day-to-day life, not just in traveling. But instead, the numbers spiked and then went back down. And now they're hovering at about 24,000, 26,000 every single day, much, much less than scientists had predicted around this time. Why did this happen? The scientists here are stumped. They don't know why, but it's a good thing for Americans to watch. It's an interesting development. Guys?
Definitely. All right, Matt Bradley. Matt, thanks so much.
Hey, NBC News viewers, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.